The pressure is closing in on Donald Trump, and it seems he's finally realizing it. In a somber speech this morning, Trump completely lost his grip, almost admitting that it's over for him, with new polls showing Kamala Harris surging, especially in key states like Iowa. Any lead he thought he had is now collapsing. This unraveling is clear in his speech, and we're about to dive into it. But before we get started, if you take a quick moment to like this video, and if you enjoy our content, hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world as we approach 500,000 subscribers. Now, let's get into this fiery moment from Trump's latest rally.
We had the best border that we've had in recorded history. I mean, it was good. And I took over a mess because I took over the mess that Barack Hussein Obama and this, who's a big divider, who's a major divider, and he's a major troublemaker, okay? And you know, I've always treated his wife with respect. Just one of those things. But I've always treated his wife with great respect. But she came at me the other day. That's not nice of her to do. And I think we're going to start having a little fun with Michelle. I think we're going to have a little fun with Michelle. But I always treated her with a lot of respect.
With just 2 days left until the election, Donald Trump's focus isn't on the economy, policy issues, or even challenging Kamala Harris. Instead, he's back to his usual tactics, fixating on Barack Obama, throwing out his Barack Hussein Obama routine. Honestly, it's exhausting at this point. He's attacking Kamala Harris, President Biden, President Obama, and now even Michelle Obama. Just take a listen to what he had to say this time.
Barack Hussein Obama and this, who's a big divider, who's a major divider, and he's a major troublemaker, okay? And you know, I've always treated his wife with respect. Just one of those things. But I've always treated his wife with great respect. But she came at me the other day. That's not nice of her to do. And I think we're going to start having a little fun with Michelle. I think we're going to have a little fun with Michelle. But I always treated her with a lot of respect.
Donald Trump keeps making odd threats against our former First Lady, leaving us all wondering what he even means by "we're going to have fun with her." Is that just more attacks, or is it another veiled threat? This isn't new for Trump. He's been going after many of his political opponents, especially Liz Cheney. That anger is spilling over now, and it really came through when he started speaking in such a disparaging way about America. Take a look.
A golden age, but that's hard to believe because we have been so low. We've never been this low. The image of our country is terrible. It's terrible. It's a failed country. That's what it is. They view us as a nation in decline, but even worse, they view us as a failed country. We're going to turn.
She's constantly driven by anger and grievance. But what happened to the patriotic party the Republicans claim to be? It's clear now that it was never about true patriotism, just flag-waving without real meaning behind it. And now, Donald Trump is calling America garbage, constantly labeling our country as third world while he attacks his political rivals, as you can see here.
Corrupt party. Guys like Adam Shifty Schiff, these are corrupt people. And to think he'll probably be a senator, can you believe it? Watermelon head. No, he's a watermelon head. He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. I don't know how the hell he can hold up that enlarged watermelon head. What an ugly guy, both inside and out.
Donald Trump, of all people, shouldn't be throwing stones about who's ugly inside and out, given everything else going on with him. Now, while these attacks may not faze Adam Schiff, they certainly seem to disturb moderate Republicans and right-leaning independents who are turned off by Trump's constant grievances and personal attacks. Over the past 2 days, Trump's been going after anyone and anything, including polls that show him trailing. His anger is obvious, and this relentless lashing out is wearing thin on a lot of people. Take a look at what he said here.
But it's now or never. This is it. This is the moment. We've been waiting 9 years for this, and we got 2 days, and we got all this crap going on with the press and with the fake stuff and fake polls. And by the way, the polls are just as corrupt as some of the writers back there. They can make those polls sing. They can make them sing. They brag about it. I got a poll, I'm 10 points up in Iowa. One of my enemies just puts out a poll, I'm 3 down. Joni Ernst called me. Everyone's called me. They said, you're killing it, Iowa. The farmers love me and I love them. But they came up. They just announced a fake poll. Hey, think of it. Right before the election, that I'm 3 points down. I'm not down in Iowa. I got $28 billion for the farmers. $28 billion. Nobody else would have gotten 10 cents. Joe would sleep. Do you think he thinks about the farmers? And you know who gave me the $28 billion for the farmers? China, because China screwed our farmers. And then they tell me I'm down in Iowa. I don't think so. And you know what? A good poll, Emerson, no friend of mine, they said that poll is wrong. Everybody said, why do they announce a poll that's highly skewed toward Democrats and liberals? Why do they do that? When you read it, they interviewed far more Democrats than they did Republicans. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? And I guess there's a law that they have to say that because they would have preferred not having to say that.
Oh boy, he knows it's over, doesn't he? You can tell he feels it at this point. But it's not just about losing a presidential race for Trump. He's running for so much more. He's not campaigning to lead. He's desperately trying to avoid prison, secure massive tax breaks for his allies, and serve interests that seem a lot closer to Vladimir Putin than to the American people. And it's that looming threat of accountability that's driving him to push these election fraud claims like we see here.
But they found, as I understand it, I mean, I don't know what's happened in the last day or so, but in Lancaster, they found 2,600 ballots, all done by the same hand. In other words, the same exact penmanship, the same hand, the same everything. It was all done by the same pen, the exact same pen. And then they go and they say, well, this is a conspiracy theorist.
Trump knows he's trailing, so he's doubling down on these fraud claims. But things really took a strange turn when he started bringing genetics into it, making it sound as if he's all but admitting defeat in this race. His latest comments, blending these bizarre claims with talk of election fraud, show just how off the rails it's getting. Check out this clip to see exactly what I mean.
You know, it's a little strange. I'm a pretty smart guy. I have genetic. Do you believe in genetics? I do, you know. Fast racehorses produce fast racehorses, whether you like it or not. And but I'm a very I believe in it, and like I'm smart. I tell the story. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He said brilliant. Well, probably brilliant, but no. And we do the weave, right? This is a weave today. They'll say, and this is a very important lesson because I'm trying to tell you what's happening with our country. It's going bad. And it can never get fixed because we're never going to get the right people in because of what they do with the elections. We're going to get a bunch of crooks and horrible people. And not dumb people, by the way, you know. She's a dumb person, but the party, but she's not going to run. She's a vessel.
Trump openly admits it's going bad and blames it all on rigged elections, saying they'll just keep putting bad people in office. He's essentially conceding, knowing that Kamala Harris is going to win. But instead of facing reality, he's calling it unfair, insisting he's being cheated. The truth is, his struggles come down to his record and the legal troubles stacked against him. It's no wonder he's still pushing these fraud claims. And he even goes after Fox News in this clip. Check it out.
Oh, if you even mention the fact that there's cheating in elections, they turn you off. I mean, this is supposed to be one of our brave, very brave networks. I won't mention which, but you can imagine. You know, it's one thing when CNN and MSNBC, crooked as hell. Look at
Trump doesn't name Fox directly, but it's clear who he's targeting when he criticizes networks that aren't brave enough to discuss election fraud. Naturally, Fox wants to avoid another massive lawsuit like the $787 million one they've already faced. But Fox isn't alone in his sights. Trump also sets his frustration on CBS, expanding his grievances with the media even further.
Look at CBS. Look what CBS did. They took this person who's a low IQ person. They took her, they interviewed her, and the main question they asked her, she gave an answer that was absolutely insane. It was a pile of words taken, mixed up, and thrown onto a board. It was the craziest frickin' answer I've ever seen. And CBS, who's licensed for free, they don't pay anything, by the federal government, why aren't these licenses bid out? Why aren't they worth billions of dollars? All they're supposed to do is be honest. So CBS, now their main news show is 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes took her answer, realized it was a disaster. And you know they wouldn't do it for me. They would love me to give that guy. And you're right. So she said, you would never mess up anyway. You're right. I mean, you know, somebody else, hey, I sat.
It's a constant stream of grievances and complaints from Trump. Aren't people getting fed up with it? The evidence suggests they are, as we're witnessing smaller May-Gay rallies and crowds that are leaving early, which is clearly eating away at him. His frustration is palpable, leading him to lash out at new targets, including AOC, who has been effectively calling him out in the crucial swing state of Michigan. Here's what he had to say about her.
I mean, we have a girl, not a smart girl either. She's not smart. She's got good shtick, but she's not smart. AOC +3. Do you remember how this whole hoax started? She came down and she started screaming at senators that have been there for 30 years, Democrats, and they were totally afraid of her. They're less afraid of her now, but half of them are gonzo. And we've spent trillions and trillions of dollars on things that, you know, putting windmills all over these magnificent plains and fields and valleys and oceans. And then they had one whale in, I think, 50 years come up. And then last year, they had like 18 of them wash ashore, die. And it's all a big hoax. So many things. So this is just like, we're talking about a history lesson. It's just, to me, it's more interesting than the speech that you've heard approximately 900 times, because I've been saying the same.
This is a completely unhinged and out-of-control individual who should never be allowed near the Oval Office. Period. Full stop. It's time to usher in the beginning of Donald Trump's prison sentence, and that's the direction we need to head in. We'll be discussing this and more every single day on this show. If you want to support our efforts, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and if you're still with us at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, see you soon.